All right.
Hello,
All right.
hello, welcome.
How is everybody today?
One,
I'm Claire,
uh,
and Peter will be inking my pencils. We're doing a little comic strip together.
yep, yep. Yeah, just set this up, so I don't know if we'll have a crowd or whatever, but we'll see. Yeah, let me do my little. Oh, I'm waiting for it to pop up. Here we go. Let's see. Do. Yeah, do this little intro bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just made that really fast. I gotta add music to it or something.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you were asking me how do I make it red, and I'm close up on it. Here, let me pull away my little webcam program. So yeah, this is the one-page strip. Yeah, that's good enough. And you sent me the pencils. I thought you had like a borderlines going through it, and I just got rid of those because those were slightly messy.
All
And
right.
I put a border around the whole thing because
Yeah,
I'm
like my pencil
neurotic.
style so sketchy. I appreciate any professional line work that you do that makes it look like
Yeah,
because
and
when I do my own line art, I just go straight to inks like in my digital pieces, and I skip the pencil
right,
part. And so, but I'm very much a pencil when it comes to penciler when it comes to doing sketches on sketchbooks. So this was a new thing for me.
yeah. Um, so I'm pretty much gonna just essentially ink the figures and then toss it to you. You're gonna be coloring this, right? And
I might leave it
uh,
black and white and just do words, but then I
okay,
might color it if I can figure out how to. Is it possible to make the inks transparent, like the white part transparent? Because that's usually how I color. Is I color behind the line art.
right. I mean, like I'm going to ink it and then um what you call it. I'll drop out the red, so it'll just be black lines and hand it off to you. And yeah, I mean, like like that's an art program thing. Like you can color behind it. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um, and yeah, and then just do your thing, and that will be our collab.
Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome that we can like actually like work together this way because I had no idea it was possible, but if it's possible, yeah, that's really exciting.
yeah. So let's see. A couple of things happened yesterday. Um, so my friend Lisa, who had the 13 cats that we found new homes for, well, at least most of them. There's a collection of the cats over at the local rescue just outside of town here. They took 8 of them. So I did a video call with the woman there and saw all the kittens.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Well, they're not all kittens. There's what is it, 5 kittens, and the rest are adults of some sort. So it was really nice to see them and all of them, but there was one kitten that was essentially born a dwarf that's going to have health issues.
Oh,
Has been losing a little fur, but she's wearing a sweater now, so Yeah, like, you know, the couple there, they take care of special needs cats. A lot of the cats there are special needs.
Oh,
Um, so they know what they're doing, and you know, I mean, dwarf cats and what was it? The other one, that the dwarf cat I call Bugsy. The other one that's a wobbly cat is Gracie. They will always have health issues throughout their lives, but they can be taken care of, and you know the health issues reduced. But you know they won't totally disappear. But
yeah.
so they're being looked at and taken care of. And Gracie, I saw her, and she's doing really well. She was sitting in the sunlight. All the other cats were pretty much active and running around. It's a big place they have out there, and they have a whole big, what they call Catopia, which is a huge porch screened in area for the cats to get it, you know, to get sunlight and fresh air and without being outside.
Exactly.
And
Cats
it's,
love outdoor porches.
yeah, yeah, and they have what they have set up is like all these sort of ramps and tree limbs, and it's a whole thing. So they have
So like a
all this
cat
stuff
play.
to run on. Yeah, the cat playground. Exactly. So so that was really cool. You know, I was, you know, I can't get out there like I used to. Like me and Lisa used to go out there all the time. So we'll just do video calls if I'm not able to actually physically be there.
Yeah.
And another thing is, found out it was my friend, an old friend of mine, Rich Pollard. It was his birthday yesterday, and so I messaged him. Like, actually, a friend of mine was asking about him. He was like, "Well, I haven't heard from Rich in like 2 years. We haven't really, you know, kept kept that close in touch." But I worked, you know, I worked with Rich way back when in the '90s on Razor, the Bad Girl comic, and we used to talk all the time back when. And we've talked throughout the years, but last couple of years, you know, I've been just busy, and he's been busy, but he's retired now. Although he said 2 days after his retirement, he got an offer to do some art. So so he's still busy. He's still busy, and he's doing really well. And we talked for a bit.
Somehow
So
I
it was
doubt
good to
Art
catch up with
will
him.
really retire because
Yeah, yeah. A lot of us don't. Um, you know, it's, I always say, you know, when I retire, I'm going to start painting. So
exactly
I don't really,
it's switching to
I
another
don't
kind of
really
artwork.
plan to, yeah, totally stop, stop working. Um, but yeah, it was good to catch up with Rich, and he's doing well, and you know, he's got some cats, he's got some dogs, and he's out in Virginia. You know, he's always got a collection of animals. So
Yeah, I got
nice
my cat
having talked to
Brew a
him.
bag of treats yesterday. He was so excited. He tried to swat the bag of treats out of my hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my cats have been a lot more demanding of late, and a lot more talkative. Um, there's a fly in here. How'd you get here? Um, yeah, I posted that my cat Rocket has taken one of Ripley's treats tricks, um, where if she's outside and she wants to get in, she'll start banging on not the window, like there's a screen outside of the window, like a metal kind of screen, and she bangs on that, and it's really noisy, and and then I let her in. So Rocket has started doing that. So now I will not I will
It definitely
not
gets
get
your
any
attention.
sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, but I have some neighbors, like, I mentioned to you, like, I've been stressed out for various reasons. So I have neighbors. Like, my apartment it's not huge. It's a 1 bedroom. Actually, they call it a 0 bedroom because there's only one door inside the apartment, and that's to the bathroom.
So it's like
Anyway,
studio. Is it like a studio apartment or?
well, it's separated into rooms, but there's just no doors. I have the kitchen, I have the living room, I have the bedroom, short hallway, and then the bathroom. But the point of it is that, like, my neighbor, I don't know how many people live in there, but it always seems like there's a dozen people yelling, and running around outside, and it's like, Jesus Christ, this place used to be quiet, and that's one of the things that's stressing me out. It's like, I know I'm from New York, but I've been blessed in the past, I guess, where I've been in quiet neighborhoods. I don't mind going out and it's noisy, but at home I like peacefulness.
Yeah, understandable.
and,
Totally.
and and for like 3 hours this morning, I swear, like, there's like 5 cars pulling up, and there's people running back and forth and yelling at each other, and it sounded like half of it sounded like they're joking around, half of it sounded like they're arguing. So I don't know what the hell's going on out there. I'm trying to get some work done. I'm getting a headache.
Yeah.
It's like,
My
shut
sympathies.
up. Another thing is, so my landlord's doing a good thing. They're gonna switch out the like the big windows and put in new ones, which is good because these sort of leak, like, like if it's cold out, then cold air comes directly into the apartment. So they're going to switch them out, and hopefully it will be better. And I got a memo about it, like, probably 2 weeks ago, and so I was waiting for the day, and so I spent like a couple of hours, sort of cleaning and arranging things in my apartment so they have easy access. I had to move the cat tree, I had to move my bed, I had to, I have like another desk in here, which is technically my studio. And then I did a little cleaning around the window. I took all the shades down, and blinders and all that jazz, and nobody showed today. And I was like, crap. It's going to be one of those things. It's like, well, they'll come when they come, sometime this week maybe. But meanwhile, it's like, I'm going to stress about it until they show up and get it done. Because it's going to interrupt my day. It's like, I'm already expecting it to happen.
Yeah, it's a downer when people cancel on you.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we're making good use of time.
Yeah. They got other places, other apartments to do. So they probably have a big list. So they'll get here when they get here. But meanwhile, I don't know exactly when they're going to show. I'm not good at waiting. I'm not patient.
Same here.
It's like, just come and get it done, and let's get it over with. But
Exactly.
I'm not the one paying for it. So unfortunately, it's going to be when it's going to be. But yeah, so it goes. So this week what I'll be focused on is getting that cover I'm working on for Vic King. For it's pronounced BEOWAR. I've been calling it BEOWAR. It's BEOWAR, even though it's BEO. It's BEO. I'm gonna get that cover done this week, so I can get it to him, so he can get it to the colorist. You know, his project is technically, you know, it's no longer live, but you can still grab a copy of it because it's in demand, and it'll probably be in demand until, you know, who knows when, you know, definitely for remainder of the year, I believe.
Cool.
Yeah. But it's a kick-ass cover, and it's going to look really good in color. So what are some things you are up to?
Well, today I was pretty much just well, as you see, I did my makeup for Halloween. It's a red plum bob and a green plum bob, because the red plum bob is like the uncomfortable, and like the green plum bob is happy, and like, and so I was just like, I felt like celebrating Halloween sim style. And so I've been, I don't know, like most days I spend my days playing The Sims 4, and basically I set up and capture screens to use as references, and then turn those into comics. And so it's all about
Right.
playing with my friends and deciding their fates as characters, and it's pretty fun. It's like a way of doing like RPG gaming with people, and then turning the adventures into comics. So that's basically what I
Yeah.
do. Hello.
We have Landon in the chat. Welcome, Landon. What are you doing for Halloween, Landon? Me, I was going to do something for Halloween, but my friend's back is in bad shape, so we canceled. So I'm just hanging out tonight.
Yeah, me and my creative partner are planning on doing the Halloween event dailies tonight in Elder Scrolls Online together. As a way to, because he lives on the other side of the country. He lives in Oregon while I live in Georgia, and so it's a way we can hang out without like spending money on plane tickets by
Right.
live streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah. I got too many friends like that. I gotta get more friends in town.
I suppose I'm one of them now.
Yeah. Just another online personality.
What state do you live in?
I'm in Kentucky.
I have no idea like what that is in relation to Georgia, but is that Midwest, or is it East, or is it Pacific?
It's East.
Oh,
It's
cool.
What is it? Above Nashville and below Illinois or whatever. To the let's see, left of Ohio. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it's like a little further. Does it snow where you live?
Yeah. That was my heat going to come on, but it's too noisy. It's not really cold. Not at the moment. It'll get colder later tonight. Yeah, you know, it's like I'm originally from New York, and you know, after my mom passed, that was like 2006. You know, me and Jimmy were still in New York. My two other older brothers were already in different places, you know, and I was like, well, I could live anywhere. And, you know, it's like I knew I wanted to move away from New York because I wasn't, you know, it's like the only way I would stay there if I was making six figures, and I work on comics. I'm not making six figures.
Yeah, exactly. It's a job you do for the love of the job. It's not exactly the biggest money maker.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's definitely people that do pull in that. I'm just not one of them. But I had a close friend who was in a small town in Kentucky, and you know, he had a family and whatnot. But he was like, "Oh, you can come here and stay with us, and you know, until you get a job and set up, or you know." And so that's exactly what I did. I moved in with my friend for a little bit, and then got my own apartment, and you know, I started working at McDonald's just to, you know, get set up, and really didn't stay there that long. But Bardstown, it's gorgeous, gorgeous little town. You know, what they always said was it was the fastest growing town in Kentucky, because it's just really, really beautiful. You know, the only thing about the town, it was like one road almost. It was like, you know, very, very long, but kind of narrow.
Yeah.
But gorgeous place. But yeah, you know, like there really wasn't that much opportunity. You know, I sort of lived in Louisville for a while. I did go back to New York for a year, maybe, and then I was in Virginia for a little bit. Until it was essentially, I kind of met Lisa online, and she's like, "I'm in Cannonballville." I was like, "What's that?" It's just you know, the small town I'm in now. And so I came out here, and you know, we moved in together and blah blah blah.
Cool.
But you know, I still like it here. I don't know. You know, it's a lot of things, and I'll get into it in a minute. Landon's saying a lot of stuff. Okay, so let me get to his comments. He was like, "So, what's up? Not much. Just maybe just hanging out with my parents and wife, see family." Yep, that's cool, man. This is. I did do a horror comics creators panel the day before yesterday. You should watch it when you get a minute.
I love horror comics.
Cool. Yep. Also, there's a new episode I did with Frank Salazar. There you go. And he's dropping links. Cool, man. I'll give it a watch when I get a chance. And there's the other one. So I guess the first one is the horror comics creators panel, and the second one is Frank Salazar, probably.
Awesome.
So he's always busy. That Landon, and he does a lot of horror art.
Oh, he does good work. Take a look at it. I'm gonna do that.
So yes, Kaylee, who's been on my channel previously, and I'll get her on again. She's, yeah, real, what do you call it? Cheerleader for independent comics and whatnot. She was asking about horror comics, and let's see, what did I mention? Well, you liked the post. Oh well, okay, so the very first comic book work I ever did, and it was only filling in blacks, but was on Ghost Rider. I really
Oh,
liked
yeah.
Ghost Rider back when. And I know I mentioned Spawn. I collected Spawn for at least the first 50 issues. And that was a good book, good fun book. And Hellboy, of course, is
Hellboy
like
favorite.
Hellboy, Mike Mignola. That's excellent, excellent book. I still remember, like, I don't remember picking up every book I ever picked up, but I do remember the day I went to go pick up Hellboy. And I remember exactly the shop I went to and where it was on the shelf. And I was so excited for that book to come out.
Yeah, you probably know a lot of comic artists, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't say I know Mike Mignola, but we chatted, like Jimmy and Joe. So Jimmy Palmiotti, my brother, if you don't know, and Joe Quesada used to have parties in New York. They had friends who owned a bar, and they would have all writers and artists come by, and occasionally I would go there too. I always try to keep my circle different from my brother. Like, I had my friends and he had his friends, and sometimes they collide. But anyway, I was there one night and Mike Mignola was there. I don't know, like, I know he at that point he probably did Marvel work, tempting to get in an industry as an anchor, which he always says he was horrible at. I thought he was pretty good.
Everybody in
But
cars think about themselves that way.
yeah. But I like, he stepped outside to get air, and I did the same. Like, it was a small little bar in like 20 something street in Manhattan. And we got to talking, like, like it wasn't directly comic related conversation, but I do remember also, like, our meeting him there and talking with him and chatting and hang out. And yeah, I met a lot of people like that, but I also met much more at conventions. Like,
Oh, yeah.
being in New York is definitely, that's where everybody went.
Yeah, it's
But
really known for pop culture.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't always the one that, like, if I was a fan of their work, I had to go see them and say hello. It was just, to me, it was always just like, well, it's really nice to see them. Like, I remember seeing Jim Stalin. Like, I was a huge Jim Stalin fan. So was my brother. Loved his art, loved his writing, loved his characters he created for Marvel. He created Thanos, which was big in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I saw him at a convention. I was like, oh, it's great to see him. It's great, great to put the face to the name. But I didn't go up to him and was like, even though he was alone at the time, it was just like, I don't have to go say hello. I don't feel the need to meet every artist or writer and whatnot. I appreciate their work.
I love collecting friends. So I'm very, very much
Yeah.
how do you do? Hello kind of person.
Yeah. But I have met plenty of people, like, that work in the industry and whatnot. I got my full.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to, like, work together on an art piece. I get really into that. The whole creative team thing is really exciting for me, and I like how different it looks when two artists, like, like with me doing pencils and you doing inks. It's cool to see how different it looks like after the fact, after we collaborate, than what our usual styles look
Right.
like. That's what's exciting to me about like working
Yeah.
with.
Right.
Because
So one of the other good.
you have a very distinct style. I have a very distinct style. So what comes out of us working together is totally new.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about collaborations. That's why, I mean, I enjoy working on other artists. You know, for a long time, like when I got on Aquaman with Jim Calfury, and you know we did our run, and then they, you know, DC decided, okay, now it's time to get a different writer and artist on the book, because that's what the big companies do. Like, you know, unless you're like pulling in first or second place, they're bound to change the team up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know like Eric Lawson, whose work I like, especially back then, took over as writer. And I forget the artist. I think Eric Lawson did the covers, but I don't think he was an interior artist. Anyway, I didn't. Yeah, I saw an issue. Was like, nah. It's like I'm not going to keep reading this. But I don't know where I was going. I was going somewhere, but I get so much in my mind.
Understandable. Indie
Yeah.
indie is called because of artist creator control.
Yeah, I mean that's, you know, that's why I'm like shifting towards doing my own books. I really like, you know, why why a lot more people know me as working on Aquaman as opposed to all my other work is because you know, I was on there for a bunch of years, you know, initially doing fill-in issues, and then eventually, you know, we had a contract. And I want to do my own books because I want to do long runs. And that's you know, definitely doing my own character. It's like I call the shots. It's like, screw everything. I'm going to do this book regardless. You know.
Oh yeah. It's really cool seeing you inking my pencils.
Thanks. Well, it's fun to ink your pencils. So one of the things that's been on my mind, so like currently I'm in a weird position, you know. It has everything to do with my friend passed away in August, and I didn't work for, I would say, almost 2 months. And it's put me in a bad spot. And now, because I'm going to be disappearing for 2 months, kind of, sort of, upcoming, I'm in a void in between. And so like I gotta make some serious money over the next week or two. And I'm kind of thinking like, you know, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make that happen. But when I return back to Kentucky from Florida, I'm kind of thinking I might just get a day job, or at least, you know, a part-time job.
Yeah, part-time is better than full-time if you want to continue to work on artwork and not be exhausted.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like I want a good steady income that's dependable. Um and I you know, and this will be like, you know, February next year. I want a long period of time where I'm not taking on new work, because I have at least a year's worth of old work to get to.
Yeah.
Like the piece I shared out today, something called Cora that Aletha Martinez penciled and I ink that's like her characters of something. I don't know if she's ever published it. I don't think so. I don't know if she'll ever get to it. But we are, you know, there is a book that I'm going to finish the inks on. That is a collaboration of us. That is more a American manga type book. Very, very manga style looking. That I think is gorgeous, and I would love to see her crowdfund it, but I don't think she's into that. But regardless, like, you know, if I get it done, she'll publish it. And, you know, if anything comes of it, maybe I'll do more issues.
Yeah.
You know, she's self-published before, so like she's experienced that. She recently did the Nebula, or however you pronounce it, of the Amazons, or in the Amazons, or whatever. Like, if you see my post, it's written properly.
Yeah.
But that's like it's a DC miniseries. I think it's 6 issues. That is sort of the Spanish Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just track down Aletha Martinez in DC Comics, you find it.
Oh yeah.
And that was inked by another old friend of mine, Mark Morales. Is a quality inker, and he's done a ton of stuff for, I think, more Marvel than DC. But anyway, if you know, it's like I would love to finish that book, and I have just a lot of other projects, a lot of my own projects that I want to focus on, and you know, it's kind of, you know, it's like every time I did get a day job, it was never really part-time. I mean, I've done some seasonal stuff here and there. But if I work it just right, and get, you know, like maybe work 3 days a week, even 4 days, like still have enough of a weekend and evenings
Yeah.
to get some work done.
What one
If I
way
don't
I
have to, go ahead.
One way I
No, it's
stabilize
fine.
my income is by being a pet sitter. Everything's like kind of up in the air right now because I just moved. But trustworthy pet sitters are in high demand. And so that's one way I stabilize my income as an artist, because people, if they find a pet sitter they want, they will repeatedly call that pet sitter. And so that's how I've been stabilizing my income. But everything's different now because I
Yeah.
just moved to a new state and no one knows me here. So, but I was making regular money because people in Florida who live in Florida love going to Disneyland. And so,
Right.
because
Yeah,
I
they
have
have a reason.
residents down.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's definitely a lot of people that know that I'm good with animals. That could be a thing. I don't know if I
Yeah.
really want to do that. I sort of want to break. Like, I was up, you know, like before my friend passed away, I was up to my eyeballs in cats, and I think I want to break.
Understandable. That's totally understandable.
Like, I have my 3, and that's fine. But
And
you know,
definitely,
there there's a delay, so we're gonna talk over each other. So there's like factory work. I can get like a part-time factory work job, and factories pay better. It's harder work, but you know, if it's only 3 or 4 days a week, then it's not gonna kill me.
yeah.
You know, I'm just looking to get a block of period where I could just focus on actually finishing a bunch of projects. You know, because I've been chasing my own tail this past year, and everything outside my control hasn't been going in the way it should. Like, there was the project designated. Like, if that would have funded, then I would have been in much better shape now. And
oh yeah, it's always
it's
I guess it's not easy for people to get funded on Kickstarters, or I've never tried it myself.
it's like what happened was like that's when Lisa passed. Like
Oh yeah,
it started just a couple of days before, and then even though I was actively part of the project as far as promoting it and doing streams and whatnot, it's like my brain power wasn't totally into it, and Mark had a situation where he had to move at the end of the project, so it was left up to me. Like, we had other people on the project, but we were the only two promoting it.
right.
So it really just like it wound up in my corner, and I was like, I didn't have the brain power to do it. Like, I was just torn to bits emotionally. So
Yeah, it's hard to work through heartbreak.
Yeah. So, but if it had funded, yeah, I wouldn't be struggling right now. But such is the way of things,
Yeah, you just gotta deal with life as you go through it. Learn to
Yeah.
figure stuff out.
But it's like I messaged my brother earlier. It's like, I'll brainstorm when I get out there. Like, I got to do something, like, because I want to move. I want to get a bigger place. Hopefully, like, rent a house. Like,
What are you
I'm
thinking
tired
about
of
moving?
living. That's just it. Like, I'm not looking to move anywhere. Like, I just want to get a house.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it could be next door. It could be across the street. It could be down the block. It's like whatever's available that I could within my range and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not looking to move, but that could be a possibility if there's a better option elsewhere. Like,
yeah, exactly. See what opportunities arise.
yeah. I'll land this as being a pet sitter. You can work on art while you
That's what I do, Landon. That's exactly what I do. Is I work on my comics because I work on an iPad while I'm house sitting at people's houses, and that's how I do both simultaneously. So you're right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I want something. I mean, pet sitting is can be physical. I think I need something physical. Like, I worked a couple of times at a Mexican restaurant doing dishwashing, and I love that. It's like, leave me alone and let me do my thing. It's very physical, and even though I was worn out at the end of the day, I felt really happy. Just like, because let's face it, me pushing around a brush and quill isn't very physical. I need something that.
So are you a work with your
Yeah.
hands guy? Because I'm definitely like a work with my hands kind of person. It's like,
I mean, like, dishwashing is working with your hands. It's like, because it's essentially like, it's not staying in one place completely still. I'm doing a bit of running around. Like, I did food prep. I did, a combination of things. I did cleaning. I did organizing the
do you like to
storage
cook?
room, and kept track of supplies, and like, it's a list of things that I was doing there.
Oh,
I was an essential part of the team.
do you like to cook?
No. I mean, once in a while, but I'm not really a cook type person. Like, you know, I get
Neither am
by.
I.
I mean, yeah. Once in a while, it's fun. It's, you know, like you be creative. Um, but you know, it's like I've lived alone most of my life. It's like I'm tired of cooking.
Understandable.
Let somebody else do
I burn
it. You
food.
know,
I'm so bad at cooking.
I mean,
I know
that's what
my
I
boys
gotta.
love it.
Yeah. No, I gotta find a new woman who loves to cook. That's on my list.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well, here's hoping you find someone who enjoys cooking.
yeah. There's plenty of people that do, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like my creative partner is a cook. He loves cooking.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, like it's just like not everything is negative, not everything has been bad. But just taking a better look at where I've been this past year, this past couple of years, and it's like I know, you know, like the quality of my work has improved immensely. My focus has improved. Like, you know, you go through highs and lows of certain things and whatnot, and I am totally focused. It's just that it's not showing up in the work. It's not showing up in, you know, I can't point to a stack and say, you know, this is because I'm on top of things. It's like everything is sort of all over the place. And you know, part of that is like I'm scrambling a lot of times just to pull in money, and it doesn't do me any favors. So
Oh yeah, because like if you've got like financial stress going on, it can it can mess with your head. It can
yeah,
it can have an impact on anything you're
yeah.
working.
I was talking to sort of a new friend I made, but decided I'm probably better not being her friend. She, you know, she was trying to talk me into doing stocks and, cryptocurrency and all this
Yeah,
stuff. Uh, but at the same time, everything out of her mouth sounded like she was bragging. And it's like, that's, you know, that's not encouraged me in any way. It's like, you're
yeah.
just like showing off. It's like, screw you. You know, you're not being helpful. You're just being an asshole. Um, so that didn't last. But yeah, I mean, like I know there's definitely like people that invest and whatnot, and you know, you could do it smart. You could do it, you know, small, um, and you know, just pull in a little extra money, and that's not a bad thing. Um, you know, but at the same time, it's like my oldest friend, I still talk to. I realized one of my cats trying to. Is that? Yeah, I think one of my cats is at the window trying to wants to get in, but screw him. I'm streaming. Um, but yeah, my oldest friend, I still keep in contact with him, and we call each other and chat for hours. I might have to. He's being a nuisance. It's pretty loud. I don't know if you can hear it.
I hear that.
Yeah, but
There's no like no noise, audible noise coming from your cat. So
oh, okay, good. But yeah, he has a lot of investments going on and whatnot. Unfortunately, because of around COVID times, like when it was serious, a lot of people lost money that were investing. Well, he lost thousands.
Oh,
And it's like I would never put that much money into any of that myself.
oh yeah, because you don't know if the value is going to go up or down. It's like it feels like gambling in a way on the future of money.
Yeah. I mean, like it is gambling, but you could do it smart. But like what was smart a week before that, turned out to be horrible for a lot of people. I mean, it was like everybody who was investing at that time was thousands or hundreds of thousands, and
Yeah,
it was like
that's rough.
And my friend is, he's unfortunately because of COVID, he lost his job, and he's kind of retired because of that, because now he's too old to get hired again, or
Yeah, it was so weird, the whole
in his
pandemic.
field. Yeah.
It was weird because
like
my parents during the pandemic decided they wanted to retire. Well, at least my mom did. My dad was always self-employed. My mom retired from social work, and I was going to college right before the pandemic hit. And when they switched to online classes, I decided to take a break from college. And so I started, like, I created my Claire Gray Fantasy Portraits business in January of 2020, right before the spring of the pandemic. But instead of like suffering from it, I just kind of took everything online and started networking online. And then I got like, I started experiencing really, really awesome progress in the success of my business. And it was really unexpected, but it's just the ability to draw people online that really got me noticed by a lot of major people. So like, yeah, so the pandemic can ruin people, or it can help like comic artists, like what happened with me because of the online.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely like, it did me good too, in many ways. I think I got a lot more quality work in recent years. But it kind of didn't last. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm in sort of an in between place, and it's screwed with just me getting some jobs, I'm sure.
Oh, I am like, excuse me while I gush over your inks because they look fantastic. Oh my god!
Oh, it's just
that's so cool. I'm just seeing myself as a
it's
comic
just a
character.
couple lines.
I really love how you did my hair. That's so cool.
I almost want to use a quill, but I'm just going with what I got.
The brush looks like the brush makes the lines look super pretty, super elegant. I love it. Really beautiful.
Thanks.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure, like if I was just working not on a stream, not with you in the room, just in a way, I might approach it differently. But it's in a lot of ways like I just go with my gut. Like what I'm feeling at the moment is how do I approach certain things, and it either works or it doesn't.
It looks fantastic. So I think you're doing an amazing job.
Thanks.
There's stuff I know, like from being an artist for 27 years. I think like for being a serious artist for 27 years. Before that, I was just kind of a kid learning. But like, there's stuff about techniques and what makes a quality piece. That about from the experience, and like it's obvious you're very good at what you do.
Thanks. I try. I mean, this is where I want to. I see the potential of me, and it's like I'm ever reaching towards the better version of me.
Yeah, it's a good attitude for Earth to have that interest in constant self-improving, like constant challenging oneself.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's my driving force. I mean, that's why, like, I don't care that I'm not rich and famous. I don't care that I'm not like, I don't own a house and a boat and Trans Am and it's like that doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is like, oh man, I could do so much better if everybody would just leave me alone and I could do more work. Yeah.
Yeah, like time, I understand is always hard to come by. Like,
well, the fact that we got to pay for living, a place to live in, and food, and like everything's expenses and blah blah blah. That's I when me and Lisa were living together, those were the easiest days of my life. Not because like she was taking care of everything, but because we, for the brief time we were together, and even afterwards, I mean, there's a reason why we remain best friends. Because we were a great team together. And I've had girlfriends throughout my life, but I never experienced anything like that. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I will admit, like, I always choose bad women to hook up with. Some were short and sweet and fun, but the relationships were negative influences in my life.
That's a shame. It's like sometimes you just gotta. Well, I was like that in the past, where I was attracted to people that were not so much attracted to me because I didn't have the self-worth in the past, being in the closet, that I have now. I didn't realize I was lovable for a long time. I didn't think I was lovable. So I went after, I was attracted to bad people because of that. And so
I think like most people are a small way kind of feel a little bit of that.
And so like when I started hanging out with my friend who became my creative partner, he introduced me for the first time to hope that maybe I was lovable, maybe the world would accept, me as a non-binary person. And so it changed my world, basically, of, oh yeah, maybe there is a future for me, because he was the first guy to really get into planning a future with me. And it's a creative relationship, but it's a very loving creative relationship.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, it's not everybody is lucky and fortunate in life. Like, I'm lucky enough to have lived 59 years. There's plenty of people who haven't. Like, I'm lucky enough to have a roof over my head. I'm like, it's like there's plenty to be happy and fortunate, about. you know, I was born with 2 legs and 2 arms, and I got 2 eyeballs, and you know, it's like blah blah blah. You know. You know, I'm a free man. I'm, you know, I mean, there's plenty to be happy and you know. So you know, not everybody's lucky in love. Not everybody meets their soulmate off the bat. I'll still look. You know, like I'll find somebody. Like I'm not really hardcore looking right now because I know I'll be away for 2 months. I'm kind of don't want to get involved right now.
Understandable.
But
me and James me and James like to call like me and my group of muses and the people I have creative chemistry with like soul friends. It's like different than soulmates. It's just like
right,
you know,
right.
these are easily people I could care about for life, without any real like there's just no drama between me and my muses and between me and my creative partners. There's no we have that compatibility where it's easy to get along with each other, and that's part of the fun of like putting our heads together creativity wise is it's like these are no pressure creative relationships, and I can't believe I'm lucky enough to have them, but I am, and I do feel lucky.
Yeah.
It's like I know it's not easy. It's not it's like you said, like there's life is rough. People aren't always lucky in love, and I never expected to be.
You know, and good friends are hard to come by, and you know, it's like I'm not looking to have 100 friends. You know, it's like I have at least a 1,000 associates, like you know, and that's fine. That's you know, like there's people I talk to every once in a blue moon or whatever, and you know, it's a lot of them I'm not super deep with or whatever, but you know, I have a core group of friends that you know me and I know them, and there's trust and there's love and there's you know.
Yeah, it sounds like a group of close friends.
Yeah, you know, it's like I almost never expected to have more than one good friend throughout my life, and that would be fine by me. And you know.
I am so like, oh my god, this is like, okay, this is kind of surreal because you're basically drawing me as a werewolf, and so it's
Right.
like, and you know, I like it goes like with the theme of my comics of being autobiographical, but it's just like there's a lot about what's going on as you're streaming this. There's like a lot of it's like, oh my god, is this really happening? Yes, it's happening, and yeah, it's cool.
Well, I mean, you know,
I've been a comic collector so long, so like that's what's surreal about it.
all right. I will say I'll use a quill for the face because there's a lot of tiny detail.
Oh yeah.
Which I could do in brush, but it would take longer. And
Yeah,
and quill it's really easy to sort of go and you know just throw down some like quick lines and you know not worry about it.
Yeah, and you do such beautiful clean
thick.
lines too.
Yeah, I'm very anal that way.
it's good because it's very professional.
Yeah, but yeah, so you know we've gone over an hour. You know, I hope a lot more people check it out afterwards. You know, it is Halloween. There's probably a lot of people out right now, or with families or what friends and whatnots.
Yeah, I heard in my background we were getting some trick or treaters. I live with my parents, and they were handing out candy. So
Landon says, "I love your lines, Peter. Thank you, man."
yes, I
Hey,
totally.
let me do this. Oh, zoom in a bit. And he says, "Happy Halloween." That's right. So yeah, this will be much more
awesome.
to do. Yeah, it's like especially when I'm streaming, I'm like trying to do 5 things at once. When you stream, I feel incredibly slow making art, but I'm already slow. I'm a slow inker artist, whatever. I don't care. I just want to, I want to be proud of.
Well, that's how you. That's
what
how
I
you
put
get
out
those
there.
pro looking. That's how you get those professional looking lines, is by being patient and slow.
But he says, "Looks good, dude. Thank you, buddy." And happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to everyone out there. Hope everyone has a great one, and also safe. And
happy Halloween.
Yep. Go watch some horror movies or read some horror comics. Or so, do you want to let people know where they can find you online?
You can. My Twitter handle is CLAIREVGRAY. No spaces or characters, and basically that's the best place to find all of my artwork. I'm Coffee Fueled Art on Instagram, all one word, no special characters or spaces. And it's because I drink a lot of coffee and draw a bunch. And so those are the main places you can find me on social media, because I do social media webcomics.
That's right. Go check her out. And I'm everywhere. If you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I'm trying to grow the hours watched on my channel, because eventually I'll be monetized and get super chats and all that jazz, and then I'll make millions. You'll see. But yeah, hope everybody has a great night, and I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if I'll probably be working on a bunch of my own art, but I'll also be working on Vic King's cover to get that done this week. So I'll be showing that off when it's done, and I'm super excited about that. And yeah, that's it for now. Have a great night, and I'll double click and